So, Antonio, I appreciate you making some time to come hang out with us today, man. This is our second podcast that we've done, and I hope you're a guest many more times in the future. And so I've been watching your channel quite a bit, keeping up with your videos. Now, the one thing I really like about your videos is your thumbnails. Okay, that's something that always caught my attention immediately. I actually come across you in a comment section somewhere, but your thumbnails over on Baby are just crazy sometimes, and it's unique. They really stand out in the crowd. And that's, I guess, one thing I think that makes your channel kind of separate itself from the rest is, the cool thumbnails. Of course, the content is very good too. So, for my subscribers, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself? What it is you're involved with, and kind of give everybody a little bit of background about you.
Jeff, how you doing, buddy? First of all, thank you for having me on your channel. Thank you very much for having Baby on your channel. It truly means a great deal to me personally, but also to all of us over here at Baby. And to put it into basic words about who I am and what we do over here at Baby, my name's Antonio and I'm the CEO and founder of Baby. And Baby is a small international team of business professionals, and we actually run a physical consulting company in real life, so it's a real company in real life. We also run a YouTube channel on which we bring our family the newest, hottest, the most interesting investment opportunities of the current moment. And just FYI, before we start with the video, a lot of people have asked about what we talk about on the channel is definitely not all in what we invest. And in the company as well, we try to diversify quite a lot between industries and sort of investments, like, real estate and whatnot, but also between investing strategies. And I personally even have 3 different portfolios with 3 different strategies. So just keep that in mind, and I hope that all of what I just said just gives you somewhat of an idea about me, about who I am, and about what we do over here at Baby. But to get a better vision of all of what we just talked about, just click the link of the description down below and check out our channel. But also talking about the future, we've just released a closed, safe community. It is completely free, and it's actually a Facebook group on, surprise, on Facebook. So you will have to sign up if you don't have a profile to join. And we've also started posting on our Instagram page again. We've got news going on, so we post daily stock tips and even some stock market memes, for the good laugh, midday and whatnot. And all of that is daily, so we've got 3 to 4 posts a day, so definitely check them out as well. And in the future, in the not so far away future, at least we hope so, we'll start live streaming. When we hit 3K subscribers, so when we have 3,000 subscribers on our channel, we're bringing on the live stream so that we can answer your questions on live video. There are lots of collaborations coming in the near future, interviews and whatnot, and just in general, we've got big things coming, so make sure to stick around.
So yeah, I'm really going to look forward to some live streaming. That is a lot of fun. I've done quite a bit over on my channel. I don't do as much here lately because I try to hit it when there's something very relevant going on. Like, for example, like an earnings report. When earnings reports hit and any kind of breaking news, I try to live stream if I'm available to. Sometimes I'm busy, but I can't. But like, for example, the day Elon Musk sent out the tweet about, taking the company private, I remember I pretty much almost immediately went live and started streaming. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to you getting involved with that, and I'm sure all of your subscribers are too. So let's just talk about this market, man. What is going on right now? We are headed into, we're in December now. We are in our 2nd consecutive month, starting on our 3rd month, really, of being in a bear market. When is this going to end, man? When are we going to see things turn around a bit?
See, that is something everybody wants to know about, but at the end, if we're really going to keep it real here, nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody could say exactly when the bear market will end, and it's not even sure though when it ends we'll automatically be in a bull market and all of us will be making money like it's the 80s again. The market could simply start slowing down the downtrend, and we might even trade in a range for some time after that. Who am I to say? However, in the near future, a crash seems inevitable. I'm sorry to let all of you down, but for me, a crash really seems inevitable. simply because of all of the economic troubles in which the major economic powers of this world are in right now. There are a lot of worrisome indicators that we like to look at over here at Baby, and that is telling us to hope for the best but start preparing for the worst, because eventually we'll have to be prepared for such a happening, And when that occurs, seriously, right now is too early to talk about how long will companies take to get out of it. It could be weeks, it could be years, it could be days, it could be hours. I don't know. It all depends on the main drivers of the crash at that moment.
Yeah, I really got to agree with you there, Antonio. I think that for me, of course, I have more of a short strategy, more of a put option strategy, but really it's the uncertainty. It's the uncertainty of how long is this going to go on for. Obviously, most everybody, their long-term portfolios, their IRAs, their retirement portfolios are suffering right now. But we're also getting to buy into some of these stocks at cheaper prices, which, you might be excited about on Monday and be disappointed with yourself by Friday. So it's just going to take some time. That's the part I think that's bothering everybody the most, including myself, is just how long, the uncertainty. Give me an answer. I want to answer, and I can't get one. Nobody knows. Even the professionals, the Wall Street gurus, they really have no idea. Everybody's got a theory, and so far nobody's been right, including myself. So, Antonio, tell me, what are some industries you feel will really perform or perhaps outperform in the calendar year 2019?
See, that is one of my favorite questions that people ask me. And actually, it's good. It's a good question. It's good to want to be prepared for such happenings. But something I'd like to throw in before I start with sharing my favorite industries is a little bit peace of mind here. So, you know how people say, just hold through the crash, don't need the money anyways. Yeah, definitely don't do that. Don't do that. Don't say that. Don't think that. Don't listen to people that are telling you to do that. Just, don't. Unless, of course, you really don't care about your money and it doesn't matter to you if you make more or less money. But in that case, I'm guessing you wouldn't be watching this video right now. Because that's the so-called, I just don't know what to do with my money and my investment, so I'm just going to sit on the bench strategy. And you don't want to have that. That's the strategy every failed financial advisor got his clients to use right before the crash of 28. And yes, I was not investing back in 28, but I have done quite some research because there we find the best answers, in the previous crashes. And obviously, the people that held through it, they did recover after some years. Their portfolios did get better over time. In like 3 to 4 years, everything was back at the levels of before the crash. But imagine having sold right on that top. Sounds a bit much? Yeah, well, okay, imagine having sold 10% before the top. Sure, you missed on 10% gains, but you were able to buy back in 50 or 60. Heck, even some stocks were 90% lower just a few months after that, and you ended up making quite a lot of money the next 5 years. And the people following that advice of just holding through it, they end up breaking even after 5 years. So that's something I always start a discussion about the stock market with, especially when we see clients that don't like keeping cash to the side and whatnot. And I personally am around 30% cash right now, by the way, speaking about that. And I am trying to build up my cash position up to 50 or even more percent depending on how my stocks behave, because when great opportunities come along, I want to be ready for them. But other than that, to get back to the real question, my favorite industries going into a troublesome stock market would be number one, and that literally for me is the number one industry, that's the water industry. Simply because we won't stop showering, we won't stop washing our clothes, and we most definitely won't stop drinking water. Even if the economy crashes, goes into recession, depression, or whatever it wants, and the dollar maybe, for example, disappears and whatnot, we are still going to be using water. And that's not all that we use water for, washing, showering, drinking water. Without water, we don't even get anything to eat, and so on and so on. So, I could talk about investing in water for days, but we already made a video on it discussing the whole supply and demand situation. So for the people interested, go and check it out. But anyhow, the second industry, and that's not specifically the second industry, but it is one of my favorite industries of this moment, and that would be vanadium. Again, we made a whole video, actually a few videos on vanadium and vanadium stocks. So if you want to check them out, again, just go to our channel, check him out. But yeah, currently a giant supply deficit, meaning that there is a lot more demand for vanadium than there is supply, and every country in the world needs vanadium to survive as a country, as an economic power. So again, something we can't stop using even if there's a crash. In a crash, people would probably stop buying the newest iPhone or whatnot in bad economic times and whatnot, but countries won't stop needing vanadium. So yeah, just like water, inevitable. And I'll give you a third industry and I'll round up after that. But industry number 3 is actually still to be determined, but it will probably be something in between the lines of life science, something like, healthcare, elderly care, and if I feel frisky during a possible crash, maybe even biotech, but we're still not ready with the analysis. Well, we are done with the analysis, but there are a few industries fighting for the third place, but I have a feeling healthcare could be the winner.
That is such a good and healthy reminder, Antonio, to keep it basic. You're right. Stocks that deal with water, vanadium, some of these things you talk about, getting back to the absolute basics. If the market conditions get to their absolute worst, you're absolutely right. People are going to stop buying the new iPhone. People are going to stop buying the Sony and Xbox consoles and the 70-inch TVs. And some of that stuff is going to have to go, but you're right. You're always going to need the basics: food, water, clothing, shelter. Those type of things are going to be here forever. Very good, and also a good hedge and a good way to balance out your portfolio. Can you give us a few stock picks going into 2019, the new calendar year? Some stocks that we can all kind of keep an eye on and watch, perhaps invest in.
Great question. Let me think about it for a second. A few stocks we can track. Look at me acting like I was not prepared for this question. But anyways, given the fact that so many stocks are destroyed or got destroyed in October and November, there are a lot of stocks to look at. And actually, I'm not going to try and convince you to go and check out my favorite stocks. Just, think about a company that you used to love or a product of theirs that you used to use back in the days or something like that, and just go and check them out. They're probably on sale right now. But just to give you an idea of some of the stocks that I'm watching super closely at the current moment, and that's for all my 3 portfolios, are first of all, Nvidia, definitely watching this one close, and also a few small cap marijuana companies. Obviously, they've taken some serious hits as well, and my favorite vanadium stocks as well. I could really talk about my watch list all day long, but yeah, definitely, go check companies like Choom, ticker symbol CHOO, Pure Global, ticker symbol PURE, New Age Beverages, ticker NBEV, Acreage Holdings, that's ticker ACRG, Planet 13 from Vegas, that's ticker PLPH, Cantras Holdings, that's ticker TRST, Anfield Energy, that's ticker AEC, Westwater Resources, that's ticker WWR. There are countless stocks that I'm watching right now, and a few of them I'm watching very closely, and of course I'm currently doing a price analysis on Aurora to figure out my perfect shooting point. But other than that, yeah, just as I told you, think about some stocks that you wanted back in the days or just a few months ago, but you found them to be too expensive, and go check them out again because the price is probably on sale right now.
You're absolutely right. That is the real exciting thing. I guess if there is anything exciting going on right now, probably 2 things in my world. One, I'm selling a lot of put options. I'm shorting a lot of stocks, so I am keeping some pretty decent income coming in, using those 2 strategies, but also the rock bottom prices we're getting on Apple, Nvidia, some of the big tech companies you mentioned, and also the marijuana stocks, because that industry is really just starting. A lot of people have this misconception that, when MJ was legalized in Canada back in October, it almost signaled like the death of the industry. Everybody's got that backwards. It's just starting. It's just starting. These companies are just starting to, be able to expand and grow bigger. So, yeah, you're right. I like some of those stock picks. Most of those I've caught over on your channel already. So let me ask you this. What are some safe strategies, and how can we kind of protect our money, protect what we have, and play it safe if it's going to be a difficult calendar year next year? What do you suggest?
Well, just as I said a few times already, the best strategy, in my opinion, hence why I'm using it, is having different portfolios with different strategies inside. And that's only stock market that I'm talking about here, because my money is definitely not all in stocks, and probably would never be, but for the part of my portfolio that is in stocks, I always try to work with 3 best strategies that are the best one for me at that current moment. And always in the company, I always try to work with our clients on a personal level and find the 3 best strategies for them to use. Because often people diversify between companies and even industries, but they forget to diversify their strategies. Because let's say, for example, that a crash happens, a crash bigger than the one of 28, and you have all of your long-term holdings in one portfolio and it's only about the long term, and on top of that your car breaks down, your dog needs surgery, and someone just stole your gym shoes or something like that, and even when you come home from the gym you discover that your wife's cheating on you, so now you got a divorce and now you got to cover all of the overhead with one paycheck. That's definitely not gonna end well for you, because if you try to take your money out of that portfolio you lose big time. And don't try to be smart and tell me that you don't go to the gym and you're not married because you hate dogs or something like that, and you don't own a car or something like that, because emergencies of all kinds could occur at any time, and having a safety fund of 3 months expenses is often not enough to cover giant expenses that compound over time and keep occurring one after another. So in that case, it's better to have another piece of your portfolio that is invested for the shorter term, like 6 months to a year if you have so much to risk, because if a crash happens you can take that money out immediately and keep it in cash, because either one, you made enough money already, or 2, your losses are always limited given the fact that you're investing with a smaller piece of your portfolio, so you'll end up losing some money, that's obvious, but not all of it. And you immediately have cash available to act on great opportunities when they happen, and you're going to recover those losses in no time. Of course, I'm not sure how all of that works with taxes and whatnot in all the different countries around the globe, so people should definitely check that as well before taking any decisions. And don't get me wrong, holding value stocks for the long term is great. My biggest part of my stock market portfolio is invested in long-term value stocks, but when you're looking to be a smart investor, you should think about what I just said. What if a crash happens? What if you need that money? What if you need to take money out of your long-term portfolio? That's really gonna be painful. But yeah, bottom line is you have to diversify it in a smart way. I've seen people holding 10 stocks that have better diversification than people holding like 350 stocks. So diversified smartly is what I like to advise my family to do when they are worried about a stock market crash and whatnot.
Yeah, that's the real ticket right there. Spread your money out, try to have a good holding in cash, concentrate on your income, concentrate on, finding different income streams, maybe work more and invest less. That's something I've suggested to many of my subscribers. And I think it's going to be quite effective. Like I said, you want to keep trying to pile up money, invest smart, make sure the investments you make are going to pan out. Don't do anything wild and crazy right now. And just, yeah, exactly. And, lean more in the conservative direction and kind of lean away from aggression right now. If you're going to be aggressive, do it on a very small scale. Well, Antonio, I'm going to wrap up, man. I appreciate you coming out again. Always enjoy having you on the channel. Anytime you want to do this again, just let me know. Thanks for giving us some of your time and some of your wisdom. I'm sure many of my subscribers will find a lot of this stuff useful. Best of luck. I will be watching your channel and keeping up, and I hope everything works out well for you and the baby family.
At the end, Jeff, I'd like to again thank you very much for having me on the channel. It means a great deal to me and to the baby family. I enjoyed your questions. They were very well prepared. And if any of the viewers and listeners would like to know more about everything that we just talked about, I suggest you to first all of them subscribe to this amazing YouTube channel. Jeff is a very experienced investor and drops a lot of value bombs on here, some weeks even daily. So this channel is a must follow for me personally, and I believe for you too. And if you're feeling a little bit like you could use some extra value, come over to our channel as well and let's talk about the newest, hottest and most interesting investment opportunities out there. With that being said, again, thank you Jeff for having me. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.